You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairin' on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. Yeah, we Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairin', gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, they find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairin' on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairin' on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase. Yeah. Bubba C. Yeah. Ric Flairin' on them. Ric Flairin' on them. Ric Flairin' on them. Ric Flairin' son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the SWAC, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty back with another one. Listen, man, I got some stuff bringing in for you guys. I'm doing some new things out here in these streets. So hopefully you guys can hear some of this stuff. I got some new stuff cooking up. You know what I'm saying? I got some new Here we go. Shabangle bang! Got me a little, you know what I'm saying? Got me a little chart, let y'all know what's going on today. Hey man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me just say this, man. Before we get going, I really didn't want to do this show. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. I really didn't want to do this show. Everything in me was like, it was really nothing that happened at SWAC Media Day. It was like nothing like, oh my God, like, oh my goodness, like, oh Jesus Christ, this isn't. It was really none of that. So it was, and also NCAA drops. I'm like, I'm really not trying to give the SWAC that much energy. NCAA here. The NCAA is here. You get what I'm saying? So it was a little bit of both. You get what I'm saying? It was a little bit of both. So, but either here nor there, we're going to get into today's show. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And listen, man, all you Bamas that was hitting me up, oh my God, Scotty, when you go? I'm live. Okay, I'm live now. All right, I am live now. Listen, we on baby watch. Okay, we are any day now. Okay, baby watch. So please, be mindful of that. We just got a new van. Okay, we just got a new van. Pow, 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 pow. Okay, just got a new van. So shout out for that, man. We're proud. We're happy about that and stuff like that. And also, I got my new Rodecaster Pro in here, so I can hit you with a little voice sound effect.
Oh, man, I have been waiting to do this, okay? It hadn't been sitting right with the computer, but I got it fixed. So if I want to do a little sound effects with the chipmunk,
we can do all that, right? So I'm in there, okay? Yes, a minivan. This a whole one, okay? A whole minivan has been brought to the team, okay? I got the Chrysler Pacifica. I like the Chrysler Pacifica. Listen, that take me riding. It's spacious, okay? It's spacious. It got room for everybody. We got a big family, so you know what I'm saying. It is what it is. The voice sound the same. Oh, that's fair. You know, I do a high pitch on my own. You know what I'm saying. So, but so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying. It's been a crazy week. Can I just say that it's been a crazy week? And at the end of the day, you know, it's been more than just talking about the SWAC. All right, but we gonna get into today's show anyway. Let's talk about. You already know what it is. You want to do things in an elite way. You gotta get Elite 15 Coffee, black-owned, veteran-owned business. Come on, man. We do things in an elite way. You gotta get yourself some Elite 15 Coffee, baby. That just is what it is. If you ain't on it, you lost. You get what I'm saying now? Let's listen. As the thing, let's talk about a little big girl. Let's talk about a little big girl. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta watch out for the big girl. Now I don't listen. My Rodecaster is new, so I ain't got all my sound effects, right? Because I would have hit y'all. Watch out for the big girl. Hey, but I ain't got it on my new one. All right, just want to give y'all a heads up. So let's talk about it. Tiffany Dawn Sykes. Again, I do not listen. If she's getting the Executive of the Year, what are the stipulations? That's what I want to know. What are the requirements to be considered the Division I FCS Executive of the Year? Is it not fundraising? Is it not bringing in any money? Is it winning a championship with somebody else's coach? I mean, please let me understand how. This woman is like T-minus 10 days from getting fired, and she got the Executive of the Year. She got the Executive of the Year. How? Who? To who? They, listen, handing them out like participation trophies. Handing them out like participation trophies. What are we doing? Right? Because let FAMU tell it. Let FAMU tell it, hey, she is as good as gone. In the FAMU, I don't care for women, men, women, I don't give a damn. There's plenty. I would have gave the Morgan State girl the award. I don't give a damn if it's for women. She shouldn't get an award for nothing. How bad are the rest of the women? That's the question. You guys are like, oh, for women. It don't matter. What was the competition? Because she's not better than any of them. I don't care if it was for children or for women under 40 or for big girls who have been to Virginia State and went to, I don't give a damn how specific the Executive of the Year award. She shouldn't have got it. You are T-minus 10 days, maybe 15 days from getting fired, and you win the Women's Executive of the Year award. Nike needs to be, they need to be brought to the carpet. Nike needs to be brought to the carpet because this is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. How do we get here? How did her name even come up? Who put her in for this award? It's one of those, you write yourself in. That's really what it is you write yourself in award. Hey, it is what it is. I tried, right? All that is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. But, it is what it is. Sometimes you live, sometimes you learn. It happens like that. It absolutely happens like that. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into a little SWAC predicted order. Right? The predicted order of finish. Now, this was huge, man. Listen, all I saw over Facebook and Twitter was was the predicted order of finish everywhere. I'm talking about everywhere. Do you hear me? People didn't feel Alabama State should be, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't. If we're keeping it a buck, right? If we're keeping it a buck, and let's see what we're working with here, right? If we're keeping it a buck, I truly do not think that Alabama State deserved to be at the number one spot, right? Because, and it's funny, I had this conversation with Mr. Body not too long ago, probably like 2 or 3 days ago. If you look at the team, they're essentially the same. FAMU and Alabama State are essentially the same. The only difference is, right, is that they both don't have no quarterback, and FAMU is a champion, like SWAC champion, Celebration Bowl champion. Now, Willie Simmons is a very, very huge piece that has been lost in this whole process, right? He's a very big piece that's been lost in this whole process. But at the end of the day, you still have to account that the teams are pretty much the same. Even though I know people will be like, oh, Scotty, FAMU brought in the most FBS transfers and blah, blah, blah. A lot of that core coaching staff is together. They lost their starting quarterback, just like Alabama State, right? FAMU's running game is better than Alabama State's, if we're calling it a buck. I'll take FAMU's offensive line over I'll take Alabama State's offensive line. D-lines are both a little shaky. I don't want to say shaky like bad, but just a lot of guys on there that you want to see them take the next step, right? Linebacker. Now, this is where people are going to say, People gonna say they don't like what I'm saying. At the linebacker position, this is what I'm feeling, right? At the linebacker position, I don't think Rico Dozier is an upgrade over Bubba. I've watched the tape. I have watched the tape. I do not believe that Rico Dozier is a better middle linebacker than Bubba. So to me, that is not an upgrade. Just because you got a kid who got over 100 tackles at UAPB does not mean he's going to walk into that system and be great. I'm not saying he's bad. I think he could be a top 5 linebacker in the SWAC, right? I don't think he's an Isaiah Major, nor do I think he's a Bubba, right? I don't think he's a Keontae Hampton. I don't think he's an Aubrey Miller. But he is a serviceable linebacker. If you watch the tape at UAPB, he's a very quick, shifty linebacker. But if big guys get their hands on him, he is not getting off very well. What he likes to do is he's like a jumper, right? So he'll try to get around really quickly and dip and dive. But Bubba just diagnosed it faster than Bubba knew what was coming. He would be there before the lineman even got him, and Bubba was big enough to where he could seal it and hold it, right, and keep it inside. This is the difference between Rico and Bubba. Rico sideline to sideline is faster. Nope. That's flat out, okay? Sideline to sideline, Rico Dozier is faster, right? So those running backs getting into the flats, Rico Dozier got that, right? So he's good on those. Sideline to sideline, you're good. Inside the box is where you're going to truly miss Bubba in how he read, and how he diagnosed plays and how he would fit the gap, right? He would stuff the gap. Rico Dozier, if he beats you, he's deadly, right? Like if he's fast enough to get around you, but I'm telling you, if a big O-lineman gets their hands on Rico Dozier, they're going to push him back. He just doesn't have the weight. Maybe he goes to Bama State. They put more weight on him. He gets bigger. No diddy, right? And he can seal and he can hold and he can battle with those offensive linemen in the trenches. But from what I've seen from UAPB, I'm not so much of a believer that he can do that as of right now, right? But hey, things change. Things can absolutely change. All right, let's go a little deeper into this predicted of order of finish, right? So, number 1 is Alabama State. Number 2 is Florida A&M. Number 2 is Jackson State. Number 4 is Alabama A&M. 5, Bethune-Cookman. As always, Valley at last. Valley voted for themselves, of course. Alcorn State, number 1 in the West. Listen, I keep trying to tell PV fans, nobody believes in you. How can you listen, man? No, listen. I'm gonna blow myself. Nobody believes in you guys, man. Every year, PV is just like, oh shoot, PV. We'll throw him in there. I mean, just a couple years ago, they would pick like second to last, right? Now they should just be ecstatic that they're picked number 2. If we're being honest, because you don't have a quarterback. I keep telling you that. Don't listen to that PV versus everybody guy. He's showing you clips from when they played AAU football. That's what he's doing. He's showing you clips of them playing AAU football, 7-on-7, passing league. Dog, they do not have a quarterback. That's number 1. At least if you had Trayvon Conley, I would at least give you a little benefit of the doubt because you know he can do a little damage, right? Your running back game is a little iffy. And listen, man, your defense is defense for dummies. It is basic. It's boring. You're able to beat the bad teams, right? Anytime you go up against good teams, you get mollywopped. And then when you're supposed to have it, you get beat by the bad teams. So listen, PV is like an employee on a 90-day, like you're on a prove it. Every year PV is on a prove it deal. It's just that simple. Until they have the consistency at quarterback, the consistency offensively to keep up with that boring-ass defense that they have, they're on prove-it deals every single year. They just prove it. Okay, prove it. All right, prove it. You good? Prove it. All right, prove it. Right? A lot of other teams get the benefit of the doubt because of their resumes or because of their recruiting prowess or the areas that they're in or the pedigree of the program, right? The Southerns, the Alcorns, right? The Gremlins, they get that because of the pedigree. PV is going to consistently just be on a prove-it deal. Like one in the opt. That's all we can give you. Because every year it's something with PV. And I'm telling you, anybody that told you PV could compete last year for a SWAC championship, to actually win it, you were smoking crack. There's no way they was going to beat FAMU because they don't beat good teams. They just don't. I'll give you, I think they beat, if I'm not mistaken, I think they beat Alabama State, which I think was a great win. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was a great win. But overall, nah, I can't give it to them. I can't give it to them. But, hey, listen, it is what it is. It absolutely is what it is. Alcorn at number 1, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that because Alcorn is bringing everybody back defensively, right? All their stars on defense. The one thing you're going to question is Mako, Draco, Faco, whatever they call that kid down in Alcorn, is he that guy? Is he that guy? Because if you was that guy, you beat out Allen last year. That's just facts. Allen had a great offensive coordinator. They got in sync. Jason Phillips had that boy rocking, and Allen looked like SWAC Player of the Year award, right? Like he was on that trajectory offensively. If they don't get mollywopped by Texas Southern, you're probably talking about Allen as SWAC Player of the Year. He was just that deadly as a quarterback last year, right? Just making good reads, deep throws, everything, winning big games except the Texas Southern, they got mollywopped, right? So is Draco Mako, is he that guy? Because if we're being honest, the time that I saw him, the boy couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. I mean, like, for real. His accuracy was off. You do not have the purple rhino. He's not back there. He's gone, right? We all know of what that offense would look like under Fred McNair, run first. You got your new guy from UAPB who's cool with Cedric. They run this high-flying, no-huddle type style. I went back and watched some of his stuff at UAPB. If you think you go fast, he goes faster. It is legit like Oregon. It's some Oregon type stuff that's about to come into the SWAC. For real. Right? For real. So you got to be on your P's and Q's with this offense. And what does that look like going forward for Alcorn? Will they be run first? Will they be pass first? I will say this. I think the faster the pace is going to work for Mako. And the reason I say that is because when you aren't allowed to make the adjustments, and let's be very, very clear, there's not a lot of defensive adjustments being made in the SWAC, so let's just call a spade, right? Like, the only real defenses you have to deal with is Alabama State and FAMU's defense. The rest of these guys can get in where they fit in, right? So there's not much complexity is what I mean in these defensive schemes. It's not, right? Because a lot of these coaches tell them you got to get these guys just to go play and play fast, right? Because you don't have the continuity of year in and year out for them to understand and get the scheme and then really play. So you keep it very simple. So, but I think that's going to help Mako out because when you go as fast as they're planning on going, the defenses don't have a lot of time to make adjustments. So what he sees is what it's going to be, right? So you can say, oh, this is going to be man, or, hey, I make a motion call, nobody moves. Oh, this is zone, right? So it's that type of style, which I think is going to help him, and they probably be better off for it. But the one thing about them high-powered ass offenses, if you don't get first downs, it's a wrap. That offense only works. It only works if you get first downs. I don't care how fast you get up to the line. If you don't get first downs, the shit don't matter because you're punting and your defense is going to be back on the field. right? So it sounds really good. Sounds really good. But, all right, let's see how it works. Prairie View at number 2, Grambling at number 3, Southern at number 4. Listen, I'm not mad at that at all. I am not. Listen, I think Southern might be on a Bethune-Cookman track right now. I know it hurts. I know Southern fans are going to be like, oh, Scotty, oh, the disrespect. But I really believe y'all on some Bethune-Cookman type shit. Like, I really do believe that. I don't see much coming out of Southern, if I'm being honest. As of right now. Okay, I don't believe in Southern at all. I would bet Grambling is further along or has more wins than Southern. Now, I don't know about the Bayou Classic. It's a rivalry game. Anything can happen in a rivalry game. But I'm just I don't know, man. I can't see it. I can't see it. And I think Southern voted for themselves as well. They got that one vote. Southern voted for themselves as well. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see that going very well for anybody. I think Grambling's going to be a solid team, right? I think if we're being honest, right? And if we're being honest, right? Let's keep it a buck. If we're being honest, I think Hugh Jackson was like a few plays, a few adjustments to having a 7-8 win team. Because talent-wise, it was unmatched. I'm telling you. It was probably one of the top teams talent-wise offensively, right? Defensively, a little shaky defensively. I think with Mickey Joseph and his style and his regimented style, his I'm on you, you're going to do it right, I really believe Grambling can shock some people. I've always felt that since Mickey Joseph has touched down. I felt Grambling was a 7-8 win team last year with the talent that they had. Because if you think about it, everybody, it's Eric. God damn it. I keep forgetting Eric Dooley is on the offensive side of the God. You got me, P. You got me, P. Yeah, you got me. Okay, that's fair. You got me. Let me slow my roll. Okay, let me slow my roll. You got me. Okay, I'm gonna slow my roll. Because you still got Eric Dooley there. So you got Eric. Yeah, you got Gucci Gang there. So let me slow my roll. I'm gonna slow it down. I think they'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll be okay. And last but not least, UAPB and Texas Southern. Now maybe it's just me, right? Maybe it's just me, but I don't like that coach. Dishman. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. Something about that dude I just don't like. Not like person. I don't think he just comes off as like he's just I don't know. He just watching his ESPN interview. I was like, nah, not a fan. Right? Not a fan at all. But listen. Bill Belichick is not liked by most, but he wins. So, listen, if Dishman goes to Texas Southern and has a great recruiting class and gets some wins, albeit for him, you know what I'm saying, first-time head coach, hope he gets what he deserves. But in my personal opinion, I don't see too much of that happening. All right? Now, let's get into a little SWAC awards. All right, let's get into a little SWAC preseason awards. And we will start off with, let me see here, DP and OPO-wise, Miles Crawley. All right, got Miles Crawley, Kelby Givens as your offensive and DPO-wise. I'm not mad at either one of these. I'm really not, okay? I think it's pretty self-explanatory with Miles Crawley. He's really the only returning quarterback that actually did something. You can say whatever you want about my boy. Andrew Buddy! He didn't play last year. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you get awards for playing, right? So he didn't play last year, so you can't give him OPOY. Can't give it to him. I don't know if there's I think the other person I would have considered is Irv Mulligan. That's the only other person I probably would have considered at this position was Irv Mulligan. Now, Kelby Givens, he's good. Let me listen. The kid's he's beastly, right? I like Kendall Bowler. That would have been, if it wasn't him, if it wasn't Givens, the only other person I would have given DPOY to is Kendall Bowler. I think Kendall Bowler deserved to be DPOY, but I do think Givens is I think Givens is more than capable of being DPOY. Absolutely. The kid's special, right? The kid's absolutely special. So I don't have a problem with that at all. Like I said, the only person that I probably would have, if I wouldn't have been mad at, is if they would have did Kendall Bowler. That's the only other person that I think I would have accepted that I'd be like, it's not that bad. I can take that, right? So it is what it is. Let's move on, right? Let's talk a little first team all SWAC. All right, got Miles Crawley at quarterback. Listen, I do not agree with this. I'm sorry. Listen, Donovan Eaglin over Irv Mulligan. Now, mind you, you see, this is the part to me that I can't stand whoever votes on this. Is it potential or is it what they've done? Right? Because that's the thing about the SWAC. It's very finicky on what the qualification is on. Is it your potential to be a preseason or what you did last season, right? And I think it should be a bit of both. It should be a blending of both. You cannot tell me that nobody in this everybody and their mama would take Irv Mulligan over Donovan Eaglin. I'm sorry. And I'm not saying Donovan Eaglin is bad. I'm really not saying that. Donovan Eaglin is a damn good running back. I'm taking Irv Mulligan over Donovan Eaglin. The fact that Irv Mulligan is not even on this list is crazy. Like, he not even second team O. Like, that's wild. If we're being honest. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Sorry, that's on me. Right? So, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I think Donovan Eaglin, he's a good back, great back. I would have went with. Now, okay, I would have did this. I would have had Donovan Eaglin where Kendrick Grimes is, and I would have had Irv Mulligan on this list. That, to me, that's a perfect first team O. All right, if you want to go two running backs, I'm going Irv Mulligan and Donovan Eaglin, and I'm moving Kendrick Grimes to second team. That's how that should be. But let's be real. The first 6 games, it was Irv Mulligan or bust for Jackson State. Let's keep it a buck. Let's not play this game. Please, let's not play this game. Once again. Now, if I'm not mistaken, listen, I don't know. Ashton Gamble, I do know he's pretty good. Offensive lineman. Evan Henry, I know he's pretty good. The rest of these guys, y'all fit in, get in. Old lineman, go talk to Blue, right? Now, wide receiver. I love the dude, Tavarius Griffin from Alcorn State. Absolutely great choice. Don't have no problem with that. Wide receiver. Here we go. That's how King K 334, King K. That's how good Irv Mulligan is. That his half of his season should have got him on the first team, at least second team all offense. The disrespect is that he's not even on second team, but we'll get there, right? Wide receiver. Here we go. I do not believe that I wouldn't take Fabian McCray. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you Fabian McCray. Jacoby Hewitt, I can't give you that. Me personally, right? Because I think I always take it like this, right? I think that it's a little bit potential and the possibility, right? Like a lot of people, I told y'all, and go back and watch my tape. I told y'all last year that Keyshawn Johnson should have been on the first team all SWAC. He was better than half the receivers on there, and he ended up proving it to y'all. So that's what I'm saying. Like some of these guys are all they're doing is just reading stats and just like, right? Now, this is probably the last thing PV will ever get from me. Shamar Savage, I believe that's his name. Shamar Savage, he should be first team all SWAC. Shamar Savage, like he does not have the numbers, right? He does not have the numbers. But you talking about a ninja that can, the Bama's like 6'2" and can straight up fly. Shamar Savage should have been a first team, at least second team. But me personally, I think he should have been a first team consideration for wide receiver. That kid is good. That kid now, sometimes you can't really get into the weeds of how play calling is, and like wide receivers are really dependent on the quarterback play and the play calling, right? But Shamar Savage is exactly what his name is, a savage. But this is why I'm telling you, people do not watch the film on these players. That kid is special. And you got some Jacoby Hewitt. I'm sorry. Like you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just hate that all they do is read off the stats and say, oh my God, this guy's good. And that's not always the case. Like you gotta find, he's 6'4". Thank you, Isaiah. The kid's 6'4" and can flat out run like a gazelle. Okay? And he's great at catching high point balls. No diddy. Oh my God, we're not going there, right? So that would be my only pushback. I think Fabian is he's like a cusp first team all SWAC. I'm trying to think. You know who has the potential to be a first team all SWAC is the quarterback / wide receiver at FAMU. I know the FAMU people know what I'm talking about. He's special. Let me tell you who. Okay, so let me see. Let's go first. We'll go back to the second team mode, but first team, Malachi Bailey, absolutely. Kelby Givens, Traycon Thomas, Rico Dozier. Listen, that kid, Jacob Williams. You talking about you talking about a kid that I would have given a bag for to transfer out of Texas Southern. That kid is special, okay? Absolutely special. Like, I know a lot of people talk about Rico Dozier. That nigga, that Bama ain't got nothing on. Listen, let me see. What other linebackers we got here? None of these linebackers got anything on. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, C.J. Presley, I'm telling you, listen. None of these Bamas got nothing on that boy Jacob from Texas Southern. He's an absolute problem. He is a absolute problem. I would have took him over Rico in a heartbeat. I would have gave that. Alabama State got money. You go get Rico Dozier? Hell no. You go get that Bama, and they play a 3-3-5. Listen, see, this is what y'all ninjas don't know. Y'all talk stuff, but y'all don't. Jacob Williams is in a 3-3-5, right? Sometimes they blended it into a 4-2-5, right? But he's really in a 3-3-5. So mind you, he's in a 3-3-5, so you know he's going to get line. That Bama be everywhere. Everywhere. Number 11. Jay Will, he like that. That's who you go get. That's who you go send a bag for and go get. Right? Don't get me wrong. See, people get caught up in the numbers. Like, oh my God, Rico Dozier had 100 tackles. Well, when your defense is always on the field, I'm not going to take away because you got to make the tackles. But come on, man. We know UAPB wasn't putting up no points. So what else is Rico Dozier going to do? Tackle. When you getting put 35 and 40 points on, what else you going to do but tackle, right? So Jay Will, that kid got. If he was not on Texas Southern, he is a DPOY consideration. You gotta put him in a DPOY conversation. He's just that damn good. He is that damn good. Jay Will, a walk on at TS. He's a walk on that's crazy, absolutely crazy. I'm telling you, the kid is crazy. He's like, listen, the Bama's like a user lurk. Like, he's everywhere. I'm telling you, the kid's like a missile. He's everywhere. If you haven't seen him play, definitely go check him out because the kid is amazing. All right? Let's get back to it. Deco, love Deco. Kendall Bowler, absolutely. DeMarcus Cunningham, I'm going to have to check his film out. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to check his film out. I'm going to leave it at that. James Burgess, okay. Emery Pat, okay. Deco Wilson, I know Deco. The rest of those guys got to watch their film. Let's see what we got. Jace Wilson. I don't think that's a bad choice. Kelvin Dean, Marcus Harris. Absolutely not. Irv Mulligan. There's no way Irv Mulligan is not over Kelvin Dean. Listen, bro, you can't give a dude. Listen, Kelvin Dean had 2 good games. And it's no disrespect to Kelvin, right? Though he had 2 great games. SWAC championship, Celebration Bowl, and Texas Southern. He had 2 great games. Irv Mulligan was everything for Jackson State. I don't agree with that. Kelvin Dean's great, but I don't think he's great enough to be second team offense. That's just my personal opinion. Carson Vincent, I know him. He's pretty good as O-lineman. Only in the SWAC will they put NA. Man, just put somebody there. That's what y'all do for everything else. Now, this is my swap, right? This is my swap. I'm moving Javon Robinson. Me personally, if you haven't seen Javon Robinson, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's like number 8 at Grambling. I'm taking him over Fabian McCray or Jacoby Hewitt, either one of those two. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you, right? And I think Fabian McCray is pretty good. Javon Robinson, that Bama like that. If it's the person that I'm thinking if it's the person I think it is, I believe he's number 8 or number 7. He's a single-digit wide receiver, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'm right about that. But yeah. So Jace not bad. What else we got? Javon and Jackson Davis at tight end. Haven't seen him really play. So yeah. So it is what it is. All right. Now, second team defense, Jeremiah Williams. I agree with that. Alan Smith, haven't seen him. Don't really know much about his game. Jamar Marshall, Isaiah Bolery, Michael Atkins. Yep. Darius Thomas, Derek Williams, Amon Scarborough, Esaias Guthrie, Edwin Samore, and Javius Williams. Listen, some of these guys I've never heard of, so congratulations for your second team defense. I know Esaias Guthrie. I think that's by default, if I'm being honest. He's okay. Second team is, I guess, however you want to call it. All right. So, can't get mad at that. All right, let's talk a little SWAC Digital Network. Let me see. Bear with me, guys. Trying to work my new system. But before we do that, I want to talk about something. Listen, man, the truth always comes out at the end, okay? The truth will always set you free. It's one of those. It's one of those. It's one of those. You're empty. You're on E. You bragging, but y'all members don't be having nobody. You looking for them first team awards? How you second Ain't got nobody on first team. Did y'all have somebody on first team? Let me go back. Y'all have anybody on first team? Yeah. Let me see. Oh, y'all had C.J. Presley. Oh, y'all had one. Y'all had one. Okay. Y'all had one. Y'all had one. I get one. You get one. Yeah, give him a little slight one. Okay. I mean, Ben was running on E. All right. Let's talk a little SWAC Digital Network. All right. Let's talk a little SWAC Digital Network. Now, I'm going to be honest, right? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I actually like the idea, right? I really like the idea, but this is my kicker. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys real quick. I called a couple guys that do business, right? And I asked them, because what I did not want to do is I didn't want to get on here and just bash Dr. McNugget without getting some sort of clarity on the SWAC Digital Network deal. So I called a few people. And let me just say this. I think this should have been done a while ago, but I don't know if I would have done it on YouTube, right? Because from what I was told, let me bash them first and then go back to not bashing them, right? This is my problem, right? The thing that bothers me about Dr. McNugget is he leaves things, he leaves it so confusing, right? It's always some ambiguity in all the shit that he do. He don't just come out and explain to you what it is. Now people be like, oh, Scotty, no commissioner does that. That's bullshit. Straight up bullshit. Right? If you go to SWAC Media Day, right, they explain their media deals. They explain, hey, we're getting money from this guy. We're getting money from here. But every time the commissioner comes out and does something, he doesn't explain how it works. He just tells you, oh, we signed this deal. The SWAC is doing better. How does it work? Explain to us how it works, right? That has always been my biggest issue with Dr. McNugget, is that he does not come out and explain what it is, how it works. It's just, oh, we're doing something new in the SWAC. You'll see more games. And that's how sheep can continue to be sheep, because good, bad, or indifferent, you should all understand how it works. That's my issue. Because it's too many times, you've been doing this for too long, allowing commissioners to get in place and do stuff and don't come and explain it to y'all. And none of you hold them accountable. Right? So he just gets up here and says whatever, does whatever in Lolly Fairs. And once again, I want to be very clear. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I think it's a really good idea. Just explain how it works, right? Because let me tell you why. Because I'm thinking like this. If the SWAC Digital Network is picking up extra free games, how does that hinder or help the schools that already have their own networks? I'm going to say that again for the people who are slow. There are schools that have put money in place to have their own platforms to sell the games. If you're taking up the extra games, how is that hindering or helping the schools that have made these platforms, right, to put it behind? Now, the second part of this is, how are the schools supposed to get money from said program? Because I'm I'm gonna be very clear. If putting the, I'm gonna tell you what, when I reached out and got some answers, I'm gonna tell you what they said, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think. If they're putting the game on YouTube to get revenue from YouTube, you're not going to see much. You're just not, right? You might get, depending on the right game, you might get 5, you might get 10,000, you might get 15,000 views on the video. That's not, listen, that's enough to buy peanuts for your administration, right? Now, the second part of this is, from what I was told, is the SWAC is buying the game from the institution and giving them money up front so that they can put the game on YouTube, right? All I'm saying is, if that's the case, okay, great. If you give them 50, 75, 70, whatever you decide to give them, okay, cool, right? But my question is, why couldn't you explain that at the conference if that's what it is? That is what SWAC Media Day is, right? That's what SWAC Media Day is. So why not explain how it works, how it's going to help the school? Because all he keeps saying is it's going to help the school. How? How, Sway? Once again, I think it's a great idea for all the fans of SWAC football. So now you have the easy access to watch it. I really believe it's a great idea. So I don't want, I'm like 50-50 on it, because I do believe it's great for all the fans to just be able to go on YouTube and watch it. Absolutely amazing, right? And I hope they leave the comments on, which they probably won't, but I wish they would, right, for a live chat, make it more engaging, right? But how does it benefit the school? That's my only issue. That's my only question. And I wish he would have explained that at SWAC Media Day, where you made the announcement and you did not explain. So, again, I'm going to say it again. I think it's a great idea, right? I think it's a great idea. I just wish he would have explained it. That's my 2 cents on it, right? So, listen, I'm going to be there. Yes, these are the rights. Yes, Mr. Campbell is absolutely right. These are rights for leftover inventory after ESPN and HBCU Go have picked up their games. And those were the games that usually schools would grab and put them on behind a paywall that they controlled, right, to get money for them. So you like we all know, you have to pay Southern or Jackson to go watch the game through their paywall, and they'll get whatever amount of money. So that is what it is. That's just how it goes. So we'll see how, like I said, at the end of the day, just want to see how it works. That's it. All right, last but not least, let's get into a little SWAC Media Day. Overall, my thoughts and my opinions on SWAC Media Day. All right. The good. Listen, you got to give kudos, because every year they get better and better at putting on the production, right? The production gets better and better every year. So that just is what it is, right? So production's better. It makes everything look better. Now, you know me, I gotta give some best dress awards. Gotta give some best and worst dress awards. The worst will come in for the bad, right? Best dress award. Hey, listen. Best team collab. Gotta give it to them Rattlers, right? Listen. It's the same. Okay, let me be very clear. Okay, because it's the same thing they wore last year. The kicker, right? The kicker. That boy Cozy. Woo! You cannot tell me that boy Cozy was not clean. Okay? That ninja was clean. That's what tied it in. Willie Simmons last year, right? Willie Simmons last year he had like this he had like this dull gray, greenish, blah, 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 whatever. It wasn't it. That wasn't it for me. Hey, listen, Cozy was clean. Cozy was clean. Okay, love the jacket. Had a little shimmer on it. Oh, it was nice. It was nice. I liked it. All right, now, next up for best dress. All right. Hey, listen. Say what you wanna. Cause I'm a mean old lion. Hey, you can say what you want, but I'm a mean old lion. Hey, listen, that boy was clean. That boy was clean. Alonzo Hampton, oh, he was clean. Okay, had the pinstripe, had the multicolored little Ike. Boy was clean. Boy was clean. Okay. Had to give it. Now, let me tell you who was a close second. Who was a close? Conor Manor was not clean. Conor Manor, no, I'm sorry. Anyway. Listen, you know who was a close second? Close second. All right. Close for first was TC Taylor. It was the jacket. Okay, the jacket is what really did it for me for Alonzo Hampton. The jacket was clean. But if you got it was the detail. It was the detail in the tie for me with TC Taylor. He had like a tiger stripe in the tie. Ooh! Like it was blue on blue. It was just like a different color blue, but you got to look real close. Oh, it was clean. Oh, it was clean. I was like, that's nice. That was nice, okay? Oh, man, that was nice. I was like, hey, I like that, right? So definitely have to give TC Taylor big kudos for that. He was a close one, though. Oh, he was a close. Hey, listen. He was close. It was close for number one, I'll tell you that. Now, the bad, right? Listen, how is it 2024 and Bamas are sharing mics on ESPN? Huh? How are you doing an interview? So how are you here on Media Day? How is everything? And you, how are you? I'm like, this ESPN don't got enough mics. ESPN does not have enough money to give everybody mics. She got a girl sitting in the middle. I said, what is we doing? Come on, ESPN. Come on, man. Yeah, we got to do better. Listen, can we get anybody, listen, please, Jesus Christ. Can anybody other than Jay Walker do a SWAC Media Day? I am so sick and tired of seeing Jay Walker and Jay Walker asking them dumbass questions like he always does. I'm like, Jesus freaking Christ. Can somebody, anybody, save us from Jay Walker and SWAC Media Day? I am so sick of them sending the token black guy. And he beige. He not even all the way black, he beige. Sending the token beige guy.
You are the only participant in the conference.
Sick of it.
All participants are muted.
God, man. Perry be so right. Oh, how's the chicken on your, how you like your hot sauce on your chicken? I heard there's an HU graduate up here. Yeah. Let's see if you know this. HU? You know? Yeah. What? Dog, we know. Come on, man. Like, dog, man. Bro. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm just sick of it. Period. Point blank. Period. I'm sick of it. All right. Let's get into the worst dress. All right. What? Okay. This WWYT was What Were You Thinking award. Right. WWYT. What were you thinking? Right. Now, I know a lot of you are gonna be like, what? How they get? But you gotta stay with me. Gotta stay with me for a little bit, right? Listen. Now they have come a long way from the mariachi band. Okay? They come a long way from the mariachi band. But you cannot tell me that these ninjas didn't dress for a funeral. These Bamas were dressed for a funeral. Could have all been pallbearers to anybody. How you come to SWAC Media Day looking like a pallbearer? Come on, man. Nah, not a fan. Not a fan. Listen, anything's better than a mariachi, right? But this ain't it. This ain't it. This is not it. Okay? Huh. Nah. No, sorry, Bob. Straight pallbearers, okay? I'm going up to yonder. Oh, I'm going up to yonder to be with my Lord. All they needed was white gloves. I'm going up to yonder. I'm going up to yonder. I'm going up to yonder to be with my Lord. That's all they needed was some white gloves. They would have been straight. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I'm petty.
So. Okay. Hey, listen. Hey, Jay. Okay. I thought it was just my family who had the people with the crown when they be walking. I thought it was just my family who did that in the South. I didn't know everybody did that. So thank you for saying that. Because I tell people that, and they be like, what? What? They do what? Listen, they be having a whole thing holding the crown, going to the casket. I'm like, what is this? Who are we crowning? What is that? What? He's dead. He don't get no crown. He dead. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry, man. That just bothered me. That always bothered me. I thought it was just me, though. I thought it was just my family who did that. So when you said a crown, I'm like, oh, he gets it. He knows what I'm talking about. Oh, man. See? This is what I'm saying. I get a lot of that. When people be like, what are you talking about? They do. I'm like, bro, I've seen it with my own two eyes. It be like a dude. It be somebody singing or they play it on a CD. Jay know what I'm talking about. It be Bama's. It'd be like one dude holding the crown. It'd be like two dudes behind them doing some like praise dancing and stuff like that. And they be walking real slow. You know what I'm saying? They put the crown on the casket and all. Oh, man. I'd be like, man, y'all need to take that somewhere else. The Bama dead. Okay? Like, come on, man. Just be doing the most. Listen. Okay, I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. I'm going to say this, I'm moving on. Right? At Kofi's funeral. Rest in peace, Kofi. First of all, when I got the dress code, I was like, why we in white? Right? Like, I didn't know. I've never gone to a funeral in white. So then my wife tells me, you know, being the churchy lady that is, she's like, oh, you dress in white for people who are saved and Holy Ghost filled and da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, cool. Right? I get to the church. There's a lady singing, and she in Mardi Gras green and yellow. Ma'am, you didn't get the dress code. Okay? You supposed to be here in all white. You wearing Mardi Gras green and yellow. I mean, bedazzled. It was white in it, but it was bedazzled with like green and yellow. I'm sorry. So, I'm not a funeral guy, by the way. I'm not. I'm really not. So, just saying. Anyway, let's get back to these slides. Just want to say that. All right, now, the ugly. Listen. Hey, listen. These niggas is true. Dog. This is what Southern football is now like. When Mike be talking about all the mixed blues, you got one nigga there for Men in Black. You got the dude in the middle looking like a whale, and then you got the sharpest brother in the room. That is Southern all together, right? They don't know what they want to be. They don't know what they gonna do. It is a pit. This is a mosh pit of just stupidity. Like, you got one dude in all black. You got a dude in the middle dressed like a whale. That jacket is as big as Massachusetts. That jacket can cover a picnic table. All right? You know what I'm saying? Dog. What is we doing? Worst dress award, team, individual, collab, it don't matter. These Bama. Now, the young man, I think that's Givens, sharp, clean. You would hope your coach looked like that. Just give a sprinkle of that to your coach, okay? Because, God, listen, that is a king-size blanket. Oh, man. Listen. It's hard to go from Dooley, all right, to this. It's hard, man. At least you knew Dooley was going, Dooley gonna be at least, it's gonna be country sharp or he just gonna be sharp. You know what I'm saying? This ain't it. Okay? This ain't it. Perry, get your people together. All right? Perry, get your people together because this is not it. This ain't it. Point blank, period. This ain't it. But that's going to be their season. This is, to me, this is a representation of Southern season. Just whatever, right? Just throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping it sticks. Just like these suit colors. Just throw them at the wall, see what sticks. And I think that's what the season's going to look like, I'm being honest. That's just my personal opinion. And the last slide for the day, right? Call lines are open, 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. Listen, who in the chat, real quick, who was affected by the internet outage today? Because none of my stuff has gone down. None of my stuff has been a problem or whatever, but I just want to be like, who's dealt with that today at your job or anything like that? My overall grade and my thoughts, right? Overall grade, I got to give them a B-, right? I got to give them a B-. I think it was really well. I think they're getting better and better at putting it on. They got to get out of Birmingham. Listen, man. They have got to get out of Birmingham. They need to put it at the College Football Hall of Fame, just like the SIAC does. It is a better venue. It gives you the feel of college football. That Birmingham hotel looks like the inside of a 1995 church. Okay, the carpet alone is atrocious. Okay, have it at if the SEC Media Day can be in College Football Hall of Fame, So should the SWAC. It is a perfect venue. The SIAC does it, and it was amazing when they do it. Do it in Atlanta. Get out of that hotel building. Jesus freaking Christ. Please and thank you. Okay? Please and thank you. You're moving everything to Atlanta anyway. The Gateway Center is a great place to host. Absolutely great decision to move that to Atlanta at the Gateway Center. Dope arena. Awesome choice. Oh, I forgot to say that. Awesome decision by the commissioner moving it to the Gateway Center in Atlanta. Right? The baseball tournament at Georgia Tech, amazing in Atlanta. I went there, been there, done that, right? Had a good time for there. So I agree with that as well. Let me see. What else? My thoughts. Overall, I thought it was okay, man. It was just okay. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't really nothing like too bad on everything. But it was a great event. You know what I'm saying? You could see the ideas and the wheels are turning by how they, all the players weren't there with the coaches and taking up that time with the coaches interview and stuff like that. They separated them, which I think is a great idea. I still believe that I really honestly believe that the SWAC should open up questions to the media while they're there. That's my honest to God truth. I think that would be one of the best things to do is have an open mic where people are allowed to ask questions to the commissioner, to the coaches. That's what media members are for, right? So if media members are there to do media, why not allow them to ask the question in front of everybody? I think that's a great way to do it as well. And also, listen, the SWAC media. Listen, I don't know if the SWAC has been doing this, but listen, or FAMU did this, but listen, the SWAC media was amazing. Listen, I can't lie. They've been getting off their ass.
Into the end zone, another score for the Rattlers. Simmons going deep. He's got a man down the seam, but into the hands of the Rattlers. Interception. Beat denied. Kind of crawls his way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Hey, listen, that signature jank fire. That's hot. Hey, listen, SWAC media did that. Okay, SWAC, listen, got to give them credit where credit is due. Absolutely, hey, man, that jank was fire. That was absolutely fire, amazing. You know what I'm saying? So got to give them credit for that. They're getting off their hands and knees to make sure that they're putting out a good quality product in the social media department. But that was absolutely amazing. The SWAC did it for every school. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. All right, so shout out to the SWAC for that. JB coming to you, Miss Sergeant and Coach Green. What's up, JB?
Hey, Scott, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Hold on.
I'm doing good, man.
Hold on. I'm on a new system. Let me make sure everybody can hear you first. If you guys, I'm going to mute you real quick, JB. If you guys can hear JB, let me know. I'm on a new system. I just want to make sure they pick it up. So hopefully you pick it up. So let me know in the comments. All right, JB, go ahead.
All right. Okay, before I make my comment on whatnot, Scott, I just wanted to say thank you for the birthday shout-out and last week. And then, of course, also letting you know as well that for those in the Houston area, some power came back last week, man, so that hurricane kind of jacked a lot of things up and whatnot, man. So thank y'all for all y'all prayers and stuff like that. So we're all kind of back to normal again, or somewhat back to normal.
Okay, that's good.
All right. Okay, now let me get back to, I guess, to the comments I want to make. I didn't hear anything about SWAC Media Day, but your last thing that you said about having media go up there and actually ask questions, Scott, we all know that won't, why that won't happen, because you might have some folks who might ask some more off-the-wall questions like Jay Walker's ass did, or you might have some folks who might ask some real football questions that some of the coaches may not be ready to answer either. You know, so it's like I think you might have two extremes, which is why they try to control stuff. Mm-hmm. Personally, I think you're right. I think that they should definitely let people ask questions no matter what to ask. And then the last thing that I want to mention was the media deal that you had mentioned earlier. Check your text messages. I sent you something that came across my desk this morning about someone's new linear deal. I think you mentioned CAA, and of course, schools actually able to get their own individual deals.
Yeah.
As well from that. So check out your text messaging with that, and of course, you was saying that that deal is only for 1 year, which is very, very smart. So you're not tied into like long term and stuff like that. So yeah, man, just like as I check the stuff out. I know in terms of our guys and whatnot. I think I've said this before. I want the Mercer game more than anything else. That game's going to tell me how we do this year because how we put up a fight. Of course, how Woody responds to coaching a tougher opponent. That should be a barometer, I think, in terms of how our season's going to go.
All right. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
All right, and that's all I got, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, bro. I hope you enjoyed your birthday. I saw some pictures. That thing looked fun.
Yeah, man. It was one of those nights, man. It was one of those nights. Yeah, I'll just say it like that.
Yeah, it is one of those nights, dog. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I hope everything works out for you. Appreciate the call, bro. Let me say something real quick because I know a lot of people. Let me go here real quick. I'm gonna play. I wanna play something for you guys real quick. Let me see. I'll put this in front of my screen. Let me just say this. My thing is this, and you're gonna see this. Oh shoot, let me just say this. You're gonna see this in front of my screen real quickly. But I know a lot of people are asking me, like, Scotty, why aren't you at SWAC Media Day? And listen, it's 3 years running. I'm not tripping off of it. I like making fun of it and enjoying it. But I want to explain to you what real media looks like, right? Where people who do not like each other have to deal with each other because that's the part of the business of media. So I'm going to play you this clip, and I hope you guys can hear it, first of all. I don't want to make sure that you guys can hear it before. All right, let me see. Let me know if you guys can hear this when I all right, let me know if you guys can hear this.
I'll steal your line, but I was going through a deep depression over this incorrect guilt that you tried to lay on me, which preceded that move. Had something to do with Southern California.
Oh, yeah. When you got me fired at USC, I got myself fired at USC, but you didn't help.
It's a better story if I got you fired.
You really did. Because it is a true story that the athletic director and the president were on that trip. We were playing that night, and you were on College Game Day, and you had to make your big splash, and they were watching it, because I know the other person in the room that was watching it with them, and you said what a joke I was, and I'm the Miley Cyrus of college football coaching, and I should be fired, and they looked at each other, and later that night I was fired.
Yeah, by the way.
So, but hey, look what happened. I would have never gotten to work for Coach Saban. All these other things wouldn't happen, so I appreciate you for helping getting me fired. Thank you.
Look at what you're doing today. You're predicted to go to the playoffs. And look at Miley Cyrus. She's had a nice comeback,
so
too.
you're wrong on that. I mean, you putting me down with that. So really, I don't really know what you're good at. Like, you predicted that Coach Saban was done. That didn't happen. You basically said Miley Cyrus stinks, and she's still going.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's always great to be ridiculed by Lane Kiffin here at SEC.
I'm going to keep saying this, right? Like, at the end of the day, when you're in a space of media, at some point in time, you're going to have to deal with that individual. And I respect Lane Kiffin. This is it's like 2 or 3 years running. They don't listen, Paul Feinbaum and Lane Kiffin do not get along. Point blank, period. They do not get along, right? But they go on the segment, and it makes for good TV. That clip is going viral from the SEC Media Day because it makes great television. And I won't even make it a racial thing. Just good business is understanding, especially in football and media or sports and media, is understanding that there's going to be people that are with you, and there's going to be people that are against you. And it's understanding that I got to go and speak to the people that do not like me, and I also have to go speak with people that do like me. And it's understanding that level, right? And then having those conversations and being civil, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Paul Feinbaum Paul Feinbaum got on his radio station and said everything he wants to say about Lane Kiffin. And then he sees him at SEC Media Day. You got to stand on that. And this is a perfect time for Lane Kiffin to say what he felt about Paul Feinbaum. It's his opportunity just as much as it is Paul Feinbaum. But in the black space, in black HBCU media, it's like everybody has to be friends. Everybody needs to, be coddled. And, I don't want to ruffle any feathers because I won't be invited here or I won't be invited there or they won't let me in here. That's just the name. Like, you do your job, Paul Feinbaum has a job to do. It just is what it is. I'm going to go Coach Green, then I'm going to go last with you, Mr. Sergeant.
What's up, man?
What's up, Coach Green?
I'm going to push back on something about, it's not really a pushback. I just got to defend SU, man. Only issue was one of them had on all black. That would threw it off because the jacket wasn't bad that Coach had on. And the other kid, Givens, his suit was straight. It just that black threw everything off. You coming in there with black, it throws everything off.
Listen, that dude's suit. Listen, I don't know. I don't even know if you can tailor a suit that big. If I'm being honest, you just got to get that one off the rack, right? It didn't look good. Like it didn't matter what interview you saw him in. The suit did not look good. It did not. You see him in front of HBCU game day, didn't look good. You see him in front of ESPN, didn't look good. Like it just didn't look good.
Look, whatever he gets is gonna be big. He's just a big dude. That's what happens. He's a big dude. But
I know some big dudes that can dress.
The jacket. I like how the jacket looks personally.
I mean that's cool.
I like the style of the jacket.
When you do your best dress and worst dress, you are more than welcome.
No, I was just it's yours. I just want defend that. It just the black is the biggest thing that threw it off.
But he's the coach.
That's okay,
so let me say this. It all is an indictment on the coach because at the end of the day, like you think let me say this. He let him do it. That's because Andrew has never come to SWAC Media Day like everybody else. You don't think Eddie Robb was like, we not doing nothing extra. You ain't doing no turtlenecks, no jewelry, no nothing, no shades. Because that's how Andrews came the last one. The last one, turtleneck, all that, right? Yeah. He get with Eddie Robb. Eddie Robb was like, hey, we doing this, and we keeping it smooth, cool, calm, collective, right? That's how coaches manage their teams, right? Valley was another one that looked really good as a team collab. They look sharp. I like their jackets, right? And coach came back with a nice little thing or whatever. But that is on the coach as well. So to me, that just shows me that you do not care about the details. You don't care about the details. That's just my personal opinion. But
that really don't show you don't care about details. I ain't gonna.
How not? Right there. How not, bro? Me, and because from what I heard, he knows Givens I think he knows Givens' family or whatever. Like they've been around for a long time, right? So you and Givens, y'all got blues, and you gonna let the one kid go all black like Men in Black? What do we? Come on, man. You don't care.
I ain't gonna say he don't care. You can't even say that because it probably have a reason. Everything has a reason. Everything has a reason.
Okay. His reason and my reason are different. My reason is he didn't care. Your reason is he has a reason.
But I'm gonna also push back on JB talking about as far as like doing the meter day the way you say you want them to do it. It's not that they're afraid of. I ain't gonna never say they're afraid of what whoever asks the question is gonna say because everybody's gonna ask them individual questions anyway when they go to each each booth anyway. So I ain't gonna say that. You can't really say that.
That's
you
not.
know, that's totally wrong.
Hold on. Once again, the SEC Media Day does the same exact thing. Literally does the same exact thing. You can ask questions to the commissioner in a public setting, right? But okay, this is the thing. You can't duck anybody, right? If somebody raises their hand and wants to ask a question, the commissioner or coach cannot duck that person because of what it is. Now, if you decide to duck them in the media or the media row or whatever, that is on you, and that's your right. If you, I don't want to talk to them, blah blah blah. That's all I'm saying. So if the SEC does it for every member, mind you, I don't even cover the SEC, and I got a chance to ask a question to Nick Saban and Lane Kiffin, and I don't even cover the SEC like that, right? That just gives you the freedom to do so. But if you decide that you get off stage, you just take whatever Jay and Tiffany tell you, because they probably already told the commissioner what they were going to ask them. That seems like something they would do, right? And then he gets off, and then he goes and asks any other questions to whomever or whatever. But let's say this. Let's say there's a person at home that doesn't watch Tamona's live stream where she had the commissioner on, right? Like she only knows about the ESPN stuff, right? Like, why isn't that promoted on the ESPN platform? That's all I'm saying.
I get all that. Now, the last thing I'm gonna have a little push on. You talk about, with the Lane Kiffin, Paul Feinbein situation. There's one thing Paul Feinbein don't do though, because it's the only pushback I have against the way you criticize sometimes. Because I have no problem with you holding feet to the fire, but sometimes with the name calling, that's like disrespect when you do that, man. You call like the name you give Bethune-Cookman coach.
Little Bill?
Like, yeah.
Because he looks like Little Bill?
I wouldn't do an interview with you. You was calling me something like that on your live, bro. That's
so hold on, time out. So he called him he said what I can play the video again. He said he was more worthless than Miley Cyrus doing something like that. Is that not the same?
That's not a name call. That's not me.
That's not the same.
Calling you.
That's not what I asked you. Is that not the same? He is comparing him. Hold on. He's comparing him to a woman. He's comparing him to a woman. I'm saying that's not the same.
That's not comparing him to a woman.
He's what? If the guy says he's the same value as Miley Cyrus, and Miley Cyrus doesn't coach football, how is that not a comparison between the two?
That's not, because that's basically saying he don't like Miley Cyrus as a performer. So basically he's saying Miley Cyrus not a good performer, Lane Kiffin not a good coach. That's basically what he's saying. What you did is you called this man Little Bill.
I said he looks like Little Bill.
And that's why it's different. Paul Feinbein never said he looked like Miley Cyrus.
So a cheap shot is not a cheap, so explain to me what a cheap shot is. Because him comparing him to Miley Cyrus is a cheap shot.
Dude,
he didn't call him. No, hold on. There's other ways that you can say a coach is a bad coach. You could say he's a Jeff Fisher. Is that not the same thing? Jeff Fisher don't perform, you don't perform. He could have said that. Is that not correct? He said Miley Cyrus. So is that not a cheap shot?
Dude, but it's different. It's different.
How?
That's different from how you did it. That's
how?
How
explain it. How? Explain it.
I just explained it. I explained it just like this. I said he feel like Miley Cyrus is not a good entertainer. So basically he's saying, as Miley Cyrus is not a good entertainer, Lane Kiffin is not a good coach.
Is that not a cheap shot? Is that not a cheap? You're not answering the freaking question, Coach Green. Is it not a cheap shot? Is it a cheap shot?
That's completely different.
Is it a cheap shot? I'm asking you a very simple question. Is it or is it not a cheap shot?
Dude, you know that's a cheap shot, but that's not the way you
so.
Do
what's
it.
the difference between me calling him Little Bill, which is a cheap shot, and that's not even talking about his job. I'm not even talking about. I have never said anything about his job. I've said.
You say, well, you look.
I said he looks like Little
like.
Bill. They're both bald. Are you serious, Coach Green?
Mm-mm.
They're both bald.
No,
he looks just like Little Bill.
Dude, you was tripping.
Dog, Coach Green, you just make up stuff, bro. And then you just make up stuff, bro.
That's
And then
like,
you don't even have the logic to explain because if both of them are cheap shots, they're both cheap shots. Tell me what's the difference? They're both cheap shots. You just say I don't like it. That's all you gotta do. I don't like it. I don't like it. Just say that. I don't like it. They're both the same. So say I don't like it.
Of course I don't agree with it.
Okay, then. So we'll leave it at that. You don't like it. You don't like it. That's fine. So you wouldn't do an interview with me. That's okay. I get it. You don't like it. That's fine. It doesn't take.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. How calling somebody something like that?
It's a cheap shot. You can't, bro. A cheap shot is a cheap shot. It doesn't matter. A cheap shot is a cheap shot. That's what you're not understanding. That I'm hoping I'm trying to get you to understand. A cheap shot is a cheap shot.
So it'll be okay if I was going around and say, Scotty look like a naked mole rat.
A cheap shot is a cheap shot. You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying that there's not, oh, this is worse or whatever. A cheap shot is a cheap shot.
There's cheap shots and then there's low cheap shots, below the belt cheap shots. Me calling him Little Bill is a below the belt cheap shot, in your personal opinion. Yeah.
Okay, then just say that. Just say that. Just say it's below your belt.
But you're not seeing the big picture on this though.
What big picture? It don't kill me. What big picture? What big picture? Explain it.
You could do a cheap shot without saying somebody look like that though.
How? Give me one. Give me one for Little Bill.
What you just talk about the way he, how he coached the game and everything. But
I never talk about how he coached the game. I never. Okay, then.
That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is if I criticize him for his coaching, I'll just straight up say it was bad. He can't coach. He's bad. I don't need to make up something to help with. If you can't coach, you can't coach. It ain't. I don't need to do a cheap shot for you to coach if you can't coach. He just looks like Little Bill, and if you don't see it, then that's okay. And if you don't agree, that's okay.
All I'm saying is, it's better ways to,
how?
Throw a cheap shot than like
then
that.
say it.
It's better
then
ways
say
to
it. You got on here wanting to talk about it. Give me an example. That's all I'm saying.
I can't think of one right now.
When you do
like that, just think of something to say.
When you do, call me back. When you do, call me back. Hey, Mr. Sergeant, coming to you.
Hear me, brother.
What's up?
All right. So, Scotty, before I go to the topic that I was going to talk about, first of all, let me ask you just one real easy question. Is Coach Green like a paid member? Like he has a subscription with you and he pays every month?
I think he does.
Oh, okay. Because I was trying to figure out why on earth would you have Coach Green and answer his call before you would get mine, and Coach Green gives you a headache every time he calls.
That's why I wanted to end with you. I didn't want to end with Coach Green. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference. Because then I could get
no problem. I was like, man, I got to get my money up.
See the logic. Right. This is the logic. This is the logic, right? The logic is this.
I got to get.
Go ahead. Okay. So the logic is this. If I put Coach Green in the middle between another caller, I can be like, hey, I got to take another caller, boom. But if I have him at the end, we'll just be going back and forth, right? And you know what I'm saying? So that's why I got to put him in between people to say like, hey, I got to move on, and then I move on. So here's the Sergeants on you.
All right. Well, listen, brother, let me talk about SWAC Media Day from a leadership issue. I think the issue, I agree with you, a B-. I might give them a C+, but I believe your issue is leadership. Leadership from the coaches and leadership from the SWAC commissioner. But let me start off with the coaches first. And it just so happens that I can talk about Southern. Brother, it is a long drop from Dooley and the way he was dressed, the way he had his players dressed, to the current coach they got now. I mean, it's like I jumped off the space shuttle and came to Earth, brother. I mean, the fashion, when I saw him, I was like, what? Oh, man, I would have kept Dooley just to make sure my dress code was tight at his SWAC media day because, man, that was bad.
It was.
All right. I mean, the brother, they were black and blue and gray. And I'm like, okay, is that what they're going to look like in the end of the season? Because that's not right. I was like, where on earth is Perry White? I mean, I was just like, Perry, you need to go and help them, right? You can't let them go out there like that. So I agree with you that it's a leadership issue. And I love the example you use of Andrew Body. The last time he was at SWAC Media Day, he was kind of Deion Sanders like, right? I mean, he kind of had like this, he was just missing Jericho. That's the only thing he needed. He needed Jericho, he'd be Deion Sanders. But now he's with a new team with better leadership. Boom, we see a different kind of thing happen with ASU. And let me say this, because before I go to Dr. Charles, I remember when you used to call ASU the Rocket Mortgage Hornets.
Thank you.
You remember that?
Thank you. Yeah, I remember it. I still got the shirt.
Okay, but guess what they did? They started winning. So now it's just the Hornets, right? They beat Alabama A&M a few times, only lost one game last year. So you upgraded them, right? And that's what happens.
Facts.
You see the performance, and things change. When Little Bill starts winning, maybe he gets lucky and wins the Florida Classic between now and the year 2040, we might call him Big Bill. We might give him a different name. But right now, he's Little Bill, and that's just how it works. So let me go with Dr. Charles, and I'm going to end this on this issue. So a quick story. About 10 years ago, I used to work for a company, and this guy who came to see us from the corporate office, he was a real big IT guy, and we're in IT, so we were asking him real technical questions, right? Just real technical questions. And so about halfway through the question, he says, hold on, wait. And he said, where is Larry Sargent, right? And I raised my hand. I said, I'm Larry Sargent. He says, you can't ask me any questions. And everybody was like, ooh. And so I said, okay, why can't I ask you any questions? He says, because the last time you asked some questions, I got beat up by my bosses at the corporate office for something that you asked. I said, you got beat up for something that I asked or something you didn't do? And everybody was like, ooh, right? So here's what I'm trying to say. When leadership is insecure, they don't want any questions. They don't want you to question them or hold them accountable for anything, right? And part of being the leader is you have to take incoming fire. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, last year, if you remember, a lot of Rattler Nation, and I kind of was on this bandwagon a little bit, was like, hey, we ought to bench Musa because he wasn't quite doing what he needs to do. Well, now we see that Musa, so the coach came up and he told the DSOs, he told you, he told everybody who would listen, I am not benching Musa. Musa's my guy. I love me some Musa. In fact, he did such a good job. You said on Offscript, boy, I wish somebody would love me like Coach Willie loves me. I was like, wow, that's good, right? I mean, so, and of course it worked out. So I just want to say that if you're a leader, whether you're a leader of your home, leader of a business, whatever, you got to take incoming fire. That's part of leadership. And Coach Willie said that too. So I don't agree with Coach Green on any level about that. If you're a leader, and he gets criticism too, because if he's a coach, he's out there coaching. That's a par for the course. That's why you get paid to do that. Other than that, I look forward to ASU this year going back to be the Rocket Mortgage Hornets. Peace.
Appreciate it. Listen, the crazy thing is, okay, and I love what Mr. Sargent said. And listen, okay, let me. I want to answer this, right? You can't enable somebody who doesn't have a problem with what they're doing, right? Like, how I do and how I move has not affected my income, right? And the last time I checked, I'm the only full-time YouTuber in this space, right? So I think I'm doing pretty well by myself. Matter of fact, I just bought a brand new van, so I appreciate that. Right? And my wife doesn't work. Right? So you're not enabling anything, and me not going to SWAC Media Day does not leave any money out of my pocket. And if I'm being honest, I I do the same numbers. Well, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, what I'm saying is this, and my wife has told me this all the time. If you move with a certain way, you can't get mad if you aren't in the in crowd, right? Like I move a certain way. And I understand that I'm not always going to be in the in crowd, right? But what I do understand is that you cannot hide from adversity. That is my only issue with some of the stuff that goes on with the SWAC is you try to hide from adversity. You try to hide from questions. You want people around you that don't ask you the hard questions. It's real funny that you would say that people are enabling me, but the circle around the commissioner is enabling him. Like you don't ask, nobody has asked or wants to ask the questions of why did you get in a lawsuit with Southern Heritage Classic? What happened to the SWAC Classic? What's going on with HBCU Go? Like, if it wasn't for Mr. Campbell, who's not a media member, and if it wasn't for Timona giving out the question that he still did not answer, what are we talking about, right? So it is what it is. Like, once again, for me not going to SWAC Media Day, I'm fine. And I'm going to continue to be fine, right? But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I'm cool with that. This is the thing. Okay, this is the issue. This is the issue. Because a lot of you guys just be talking, but you don't understand. There's two things that goes with this. If I'll say this. If the commissioner was throwing a party, all right, he doesn't have to invite me. But if you're having an official event that is for media members, and I am a media member, I am part of the National Journalists of Black. I'm a part of the National Association of Black Journalists. Like I am a media member. You have to have a valid reason for why you are leaving me out. I just have not pressed the issue. That is two different things because there are going to be reporters who write stories about lack of leadership or the demise of this or the problem with this. There are articles that are written about major people in power all the time. There are hit pieces. They're called hit pieces for a goddamn reason. There are hit pieces written about candidates, political candidates, presidents, politicians, business people. There are hit pieces written every day about people. But if you are going to an event that is allowing media, you have to have a valid reason for keeping a media member out when they've hit all the metrics for media, especially if you then bring in people who don't meet the metrics, but yet and still are in those environments. That is the key definition of discrimination. That is the definition of discrimination. Where the person who has all the credentials has everything that they need to be in the facility, you tell them no, and then turn around and give people who don't have the same credentials into the party. So again, I'm not like I keep telling people are like, oh, Scott, like I don't trip. I know what it is, and I'm not tripping. If I ever got a lawyer, I would win. But listen, it's SWAC Media Day. It don't take all of that. It ain't all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how people think that people are enabling me because they're telling me, oh, do what you do, whatever, blah, blah, blah. When if you look at it, because what I like to do is I like to make things tangible and plain. If you look at it in any space, there are always people that are adversaries of something or someone, or do not approve of their decisions or how they move, no matter how much it might help the other side, no matter how much they can explain their position, they just do not agree with it. But it's just funny to me, right? It's just funny to me that there's people who got like 500 subscribers on YouTube, not an NABJ member, haven't been on Roland Martin. It's not a Roland Martin. I'm actually an assistant. What is it? I'm a correspondent for Roland Martin. I get media credentials from the Black Star Network and for my own network, right? So what are we talking about right now? So again, I say, if I wanted to sue, I could. But for what? It's SWAC Media Day. If I'm being honest, I tell my wife all the time, I don't want to go down there, set up all my stuff, just to break it down in 2 hours. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So it is what it is, man. So, but it's funny you say that because you're right. But in the same time, like I've taken the road to be an official media member. Like I don't think people truly understand what I'm saying when I say I've taken the steps to be an official media member. I have an official Offscript Network is an official Black-owned business in the state of Georgia, a media company. I am a member of the National Association of Black Journalists. I am a correspondent for the Black Star Network, which is also a Black-owned media company owned by Roland Martin. So I have the credentials. I'm a published writer. I mean, I don't know however else you need to do it. But, hey, like I said, man, I have fun. This is my platform. This is my home. I do what I do. Right? I do what I do, and I wash my shoes. That just is what it is. And if you don't like it, or if they don't like, listen, at the end of the day, I never. Unfollow me. I keep it very simple. Like, I don't even know. It's the same thing with Coach Green. If you don't like what I do, do not watch. I do not care. I truly do not care. If you do not like me, do not watch me. If you do not like me, do not call in. Period. I don't get it. That's how I leave it. I mean this.
If I make you feel some type of way,
I mean that.
If low key you just hit a hey.
I mean that. Please unfollow me. Go somewhere else. It's not your cup. It's fine if it's not your cup of tea. It's a lot of stuff out there that's a cup of tea, right? I can't watch the mass meeting every day. That shit's boring, right? I can't watch HBCU overbite. It's boring. I can't do it. I can't watch everybody, and I don't watch them because it's boring. I watch Blue. I love Coach Fred and Blue together. I think that's a great partnership, right? I don't watch a lot of people. Listen, I do tune into PV versus everybody. Lionel's very funny. I don't. PV people don't give him enough credit. He actually is pretty funny. He's a cool dude, but he's actually pretty funny. His logic is just hilarious. The way he believes. Listen, they be feeding him like they be giving him purple drink or something like I swear to God, like it's a cult at PV of just stupidity. Like they just handed out purple stupid drink. Like he was like, how in the world is your percentage higher in the circle for winning a SWAC championship when you don't have a quarterback? We don't know what your offense is going to look like. You don't know what your offense is going to look like. You just think you know what your offense is going to look like, but all of a sudden you magically are the super contender. Get out of here. And Coach Green, how you gonna tell me to get out my feelings? You call my show, talk about some. I really don't like how you take shots. And I mean, you little Bill though. You can't think of anything else other than Little Bill though. Then Coach Green, you tell me something. I mean, I can't think of anything right now, but Little Bill though, that's what we're doing. Man, have several seats. Okay, thank you, sir. Oh, I definitely tuned into my. I watch Perry. I watch. Even though your girl Brandy, she's super sensitive. Ooh, that girl's super sensitive. Jesus Christ, that girl's super sensitive. But I watch though. I watch. I tune in. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But hey, guys, listen, I appreciate everybody for their time. I know you guys have been asking for this. And shout out to the Instagram people, because if it wasn't for their 100 votes for this show, I was not going to do this show. All right. So I'm excited about what's coming up. I'm excited. Now that the season has officially started, in my mind, in my opinion, all right, it just is what it is. I'm gonna start dropping some film. When the baby comes, I'm definitely gonna be on a hiatus. All right, I'm definitely gonna be on a little hiatus, but for most part, I'm gonna do what I can. Hey, listen, let me know how you guys feel about the new setup. Let me know. I got my little ESPN ticker right there. Got my little PTI ticker on the right-hand side. Got some other stuff coming too as well, guys. Just want to keep it fresh and funky. All right, listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holla. God bless.